E-bikes also for cities. It's easy to think of urban travel as a series of trips, from getting to and from work to going to the grocery store to going to laser tag. Some trips are direct, like a trip from home right to school. Others form a trip chain, like when you run a bunch of errands before making the trip. People choose the most logical mode to. Walking to the corner store to pick up a pack of Pokemon cards. Makes sense. Driving to a roadside attraction hundreds of miles away might make sense as well, but in many U.S. cities that trip to the corner store may also be made by car instead of on foot. In fact, 88% of trips and 91% of commute trips are made by car. There are exceptions to these percentages, like in New York, but they hold true for most places, and these high car trip rates are somewhat surprising when you consider that 60% of trips are shorter than 6 miles or 10 kilometers. 6 miles may be too long of a walk for many, but it's a great lake for someone on a bike. It is estimated that about 2% of all trips in the U.S. are made by bicycle at the moment. A variety of reasons can be given for this low percentage, but one of the most important is the relatively new technology available. There are a number of issues that electric bikes address. The use of e-bikes as an alternative to short-distance car trips can help cities reduce carbon emissions, improve traffic safety, and make cities a more pleasant place to live for everyone if e-bikes can become more popular. I have been so enthralled with the concept of e-bikes that I recently purchased one for myself as well. In order to make it my daily commuter, I made a few customizations, and now it is my daily commuter. Let's take a ride on an e-bike and discover all the ways in which e-bikes can change cities in a positive way. There is another one after the bike bell. The fact that it is almost like magic, how easy it is to ride an electric bike that is totally familiar to you, is apparent to those of you who have tried an electric bike. There are pedals, gears, and brakes on them. You can ride an e-bike just as you would a regular bike, but e-bikes have a pedal that allows you to pedal. There is an electric motor embedded in the bike that kicks in as soon as the rider moves the pedals. Pedaling becomes easier as a result of it. A lot of electric bikes, such as this one, feature a throttle, which enables the rider to move forward even without pedaling, though it drains the battery much faster than pedaling. Over the last few years, electric bikes have become a much more appealing concept due to better and cheaper batteries. E-bikes today can travel between 25 and 50 miles on a single charge. A rider's pedal assist or throttle affects the range of the battery. In case you've never used an electric bike, you might be a little underwhelmed right now, so it's a bike that's easier to pedal, right? The design seems to be perfect for short trips that are less than 6 miles long. To get groceries, it might be too far to walk 6 miles each way. Cars make it easier, but they emit carbon one. It's great exercise and a different kind of fun. And replacing bike trips with e-bike trips doesn't really do any good for the environment, traffic safety, or urban design and land use planning. Now, I mentioned those last two in particular because at this point you might be thinking, who cares about electric bikes when electric cars are here? All of those carbon emissions will go away as people switch from gas-powered cars to electric. That's only true if the electricity is generated through no carbon power sources like solar, wind, nuclear, and hydro. And even if an electric car is getting green power from the grid, it's still only 50% better for emissions if you consider the life cycle costs of the car. It takes a whole lot of energy to build and maintain a 2-ton machine, so while an electric bike might still be powered by carbon-polluting sources, it has about 1/10 the impact of an electric car, if you consider manufacturing and maintenance. And we need big dramatic reductions in carbon emissions right now to get us out of this climate emergency. Electric bikes may also be the fastest way to get people into an electric vehicle of any kind due to their price. Right now, in 2023, there are no new electric cars on sale in the U.S. For less than $30,000, you can get a perfectly good electric bike for $1,200, $1,500. This is where I think there's a huge market for electric bikes. Let's imagine a household with 2 cars. One of those cars is showing its age and needs to be replaced. The members of the household decide to replace it with a cheap e-bike instead of another car. It's greener, cheaper to buy, and cheaper to maintain. There's no auto insurance or expensive repair bills. Many of the household's short trips as well as one person's commute can be made by that e-bike, and it can be made even cheaper here in the E-Bike Act is working its way through Congress. Right now, it would provide a tax credit for 30% off a new electric bike priced under $8,000. This is similar to the kind of credits offered for electric cars, and it could help increase e-bike adoption. If you'd like to contact your congressperson and show your support for the act, like most things transportation, the United States is well behind our European friends in e-bike adoption. E-bikes now make up 17% of all bike sales there, and that number have been increasing rapidly during the last few years. Over 1 million e-bikes were sold in Germany during just the first half of 2019. For example, experts project Europeans will buy 7 to 10 million e-bikes per year by 2025, and e-bike sales could surpass car sales by the end of the decade. In comparison, Americans bought 600,000 e-bikes in 2020. We won't be buying more e-bikes than cars anytime soon, but e-bike sales continue to rise and are already twice as high as electric car. It might make some sense that e-bike adoption is so fast in Europe, as many countries there have already eagerly adopted regular bikes. Many European cities have dense land uses, so trips are shorter than their U.S. counterparts, and they've invested in robust bicycle infrastructure, so it feels safe and easy to hop on a bike and go just about anywhere. But e-bikes can be perfect for the S's less dense land use pattern destination that would be too far for someone pedaling a regular bike, may be more accessible on an e-bike. We in the United States still have a long way to go though. Safety is the biggest reason people don't use a regular bike right now, and that doesn't really change when you switch to an e-bike. U.S. cities need more bike lanes, cycle tracks, shared use paths, bike racks, and other supportive infrastructure to make cycling more safe and convenient. The good news is that e-bikes could create a virtuous cycle where we see more cyclists on the road, which increases the demand for more and better bike infrastructure, which leads to more cyclists on the road. All of these cyclists will make fewer trips in a car, which could be completely transformative for cities and the climate. Now, this video is by no means meant to be an ad for e-bikes, but if it's made you want one, that's awesome. I know from personal experience that choosing the right e-bike can be a challenge. It's great for people like you who want to dream of better cities. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for other videos of the same nature. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when I put out a new video. Thanks for watching.